Welcome back. You've brought a book that looks a bit sort of well used before it's still brand new, which is an interesting design. Yes.
Deliberately the cover's like that. I think it's a rollicking good read.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's Donna Malane, My Brother's Keeper. Donna Malane is a New Zealand television writer, very experienced television writer, and this is her second crime novel, and it's jolly good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, crime novelists are growing up all over the place in New Zealand, aren't they?
They
It's
are,
great.
and they're good. Donna has moved recently from Wellington to Auckland, and I think she works with Paula Bock, actually. They write together television scripts and so on. But this is her second crime novel, and it's set both in Wellington and Auckland, but predominantly in Auckland and in Ponsonby and Herne Bay, so it's a very, very local crime novel. Right. It's basically about a woman called Diane Rowe, who has featured in the first novel as well, and Diane Rowe is a missing persons expert. So she's not a cop, but she knows a lot of cops, and she was married to a cop, and they have separated, and she is now in a relationship with another cop.
So given that this is called My Brother's Keeper, is it about a missing brother?
Well, it's the brother has died, and in fact, the keeping of the brother is done through the little girl who survived. It starts right at the beginning. I'm not giving anything away when I say that. At the beginning, you know that Karen, the mother, has just been released from 7 years in prison, and she's been in prison because she killed the little boy and tried to kill the little girl who was 7, who is now 14. By taking the handbrake off the car and letting the car roll into Lake Pupuki. Someone, over in Takapuna, someone saved the girl. A man dived in and saved the girl, couldn't save the little boy. And there's more to all that than appears at the beginning.
She's not flinching from difficult scenes
of
imagery then, is she?
It's very in your face. Yeah. But Diane, the main character, is employed by Karen, who's just got out of prison, to find the daughter. She hasn't had any contact with her for 7 years, and to find this little girl who's now 14, and just really to make sure that she's okay. And so Diane sets out to find her. Diane Rowe is this wonderful, spunky character. I really liked her. She's a gutsy woman. She's very independent, and quite blackly funny in a way. She's a really, really likeable character. The whole thing gets much more convoluted than you would ever have imagined at the beginning. And Diane is based in Wellington and ends up flying backwards and forwards between Auckland and Wellington all through the novel. There's money involved, there's family intrigue involved. There are people not being what they appear to be all through the novel. And it was really fast-paced, really gritty, and you know, I couldn't put it down. I mean, I sort of want to, I've got to read, I can't put the light out yet, I've got to see what happens in the next chapter. So
it sounds terrific, because it's not often that we get a rollicking good read out of New Zealand fiction. So, you know, often they're quite much more serious and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's dealing with really serious topics. But it's highly probable, and the nastier side of Auckland. But just really vivid characters. The little girl who was 7 when all this happened and is now 14 is, you know, quite independent, quite. She's going to be a survivor. She's going to survive all
from
the
her
stuff
point of view,
through.
possibly quite terrifying to meet the mother as well, who's perpetrated this terrible deed. Yes, you might not want to meet Mum.
No, well, the mother doesn't necessarily assume that the daughter will want to meet her. The whole thing is more complicated than it appears, though. So I had to be careful not to give too much away.
Sounds like something I might absolutely have to have for a quiet weekend.
Yes, it's very, very enticing.
Excellent. Thank you so much for bringing it in, Carole Beu.